Your Grand Island, Hastings, and Kearney local forecast with meteorologist Kit Cloninger.
Well, a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings have been issued in parts of the western counties of our viewing area and in the sandhills of Nebraska as well. We're looking at the Imperial Skycam at one of those thunderstorms right now, looking off towards the north and west just by a little bit. So you can see a little bit of the rain shaft there. We've had reports of hail. We'll get to that in just a moment. But Kearney, you can see some of the rolling clouds around that area here in Hastings looking south. Beautiful clear blue sky and a few clouds in Lincoln as well. But we're going to see those storms continue over the next really hour or two this afternoon. We're looking at pretty warm temperatures here around the Tri-Cities area. We've got southerly flow feeding into some of those storms that are in our western viewing area, but even Lincoln right now at 78 degrees. Still pretty nice and warm out there this afternoon. So we still have here in central Nebraska a good amount of time before we see any thunderstorms moving to our area. But satellite and radar, like I said, clear air across south central Nebraska, but then off towards our west is where we see those thunderstorms at this hour. So a little bit of lightning with that all the way up to the South Dakota border as well. Let's go ahead and zoom into this one here in Perkins County. It's just due south of the Grant area proper, but we did have one report of hail just west of Grant. We'll look at that in a moment, but pausing this is a severe thunderstorm warning until 4:45 p.m. on Mountain Time, so 5:45 Central. So it's starting to take a little bit of a turn south and east. It's a right mover whenever we have some of these supercellular thunderstorms. Sometimes they can take a little bit of a turn, and it did that. And this very pink core is where we're seeing the hail with this storm, and we've seen that hail tracking through Perkins just to the north of the Brandon area, and it's just diving south of Grant. Now, like I said, we did have one report of hail in just to the west of Grant, and that was for 1.25 inches, so that's about the size of a $50 there. So fortunately, it looks like that has gone south of the Grant area, but that's going to continue through this warning over the next half hour or so. Looking a little bit farther north, just outside of our viewing area, coming out of Garden County, heading into Keith County at this moment, we do have another severe thunderstorm warning. This one is for 60-mile-per-hour winds as well, but only 1 inch hail. There's 1.25 inches hail with that storm in Perkins County at the moment. But looking a little bit closer on this one, we can look at its hail track. Around the Llewellyn, Oshkosh is where we've seen, at least on radar, a bit of hail. Now, some of this tends to overestimate, but it's putting maybe just slightly less than 1 inch hail around the Llewellyn area, moving towards Ogallala. This storm is moving very slowly, though, only around 15 to 20 miles per hour, so Ogallala still has about an hour before they see the impacts from that. Overnight tonight, though, this line of thunderstorms is going to continue to move towards the Tri-Cities area. Initializing on this, it's not really picking up on how heavy these storms are, so short term might be a little bit unreliable, but it still builds in heavy rain for parts of our northern viewing area around 8 o'clock tonight, and then it will continue, and then sort of another wave starts off in the overnight hours. So this is just past midnight, past 1 a.m., maybe some more heavy rain for our northern viewing area. Then in the Tri-Cities to central Nebraska area, heavy rain by 5 a.m. tomorrow, maybe even some thunderstorms again, and maybe even another wave as we head into the middle part of the day. Some models bring this a little bit farther north, some a little bit farther south, but central Nebraska and the Tri-Cities could be seeing some pretty wet weather coming up tomorrow, and then even off towards the west, maybe even another wave of some light thunderstorms then as well. Overnight tonight, we're going to look at those temperatures getting down into the lower 50s, so not a very chilly morning, fairly mild for this time of year as well. Highs tomorrow afternoon, though, are going to be cooler than what we've seen over the past couple of days. At least yesterday we were a little bit on the cooler side, but not quite this cool. We are going to be getting down to upper 50s, low 60s for the Tri-Cities area. Looking over the 7-day forecast, we do warm back up to Tuesday and Wednesday, getting into the 70s and the lower 60s, but then back to the 50s for a couple of days there, Thursday and Friday, with a little bit more of a rain chance then, and into the weekend another rain chance as well. Alicia?